Hey everyone.
I'm Jane.
I'm Kitten.
As you know, my name is Pat. It's that time again. It's time for another episode of the Kinky Christian Podcast. All right. We're back. Back like a heart attack.
Run.
We're like a bad penny. You can't get rid of us.
They are getting rid of them.
They are getting rid of the pennies. So, Anyway, welcome back to the Kinky Christian Podcast, everybody. I'm Pat.
I'm Kitten.
And we are here to take up some of your time. So, we did Numbers last time.
Yep.
And we're going to continue on with the Bible for a little bit and give you some more Gospels slap down or smack down or whatever they call it. We're gonna give you the word on the street or the word in the book. I don't know. We're gonna give you the word.
The word in the book.
The word in the book. And we are going to start in Deuteronomy now. That's a weird name, isn't it?
It is.
Deuteronomy. It sounds like it should be like class in a science, physiology, biology, Deuteronomy, astronomy.
I could see that.
So, anyway, sorry.
He squirrels a lot.
Squirrels, yeah. Squirrel. Look at the shiny thing.
Oh, pretty. Look at the kitty.
Look at the kitty. All right, so we are going to jump into Deuteronomy, and we're going to go to chapter 5, verse 18. This is... they're giving the 10 Commandments again. Something weird about the Bible is it's not linear. People like to, read books in a linear thing. The Bible is not a linear book to be read.
No,
it's a collection of things that were just put together. And so there's a lot of times you read something and then you'll go back and, like I say go back, but as you're going into the next book, it'll go back and you'll read some more stuff about that. It's really weird. So we're going to go back and talk about the 10 Commandments again. So Deuteronomy 5:18 says,
"You shall not commit adultery."
And that's it. Big revelation there, right?
Ta-da!
So I think that one can go without much explanation. Don't commit adultery.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that one there. If you guys really do have questions about that one, you can always ask us. But I would hope that that's pretty self-explanatory.
At least by now.
So now we're going to stay in 5 and go to Deuteronomy 5:21, and that says,
You shall now.
You shall now.
You shall now.
Big difference between.
You shall not covet your neighbor's wife. You shall not set your desire on your neighbor's house or land, his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor.
I got to tell you, even now, sometimes for me, that can get kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because I'll look at like a house or a car and I'll be like, ooh, man, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
You're
coveting. Not
I know, it's difficult. It is. I'm not saying it happens all the time or even a lot. But I ain't going to lie, when I see like a nice new white fully loaded Corvette or Camaro drive by, there's a little covet there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
I see someone's multi-million-dollar bank account. There's a little covet there. Because then I can buy that nice new Corvette or Camaro. Anyway.
That you'll never have time to drive because you work too much.
I know. But I would have it. I don't get the time to do everything I want to do with my kitten, but I still got her.
Yeah, you do got me.
So, all right. So, yeah, coveting. That's a no bueno.
Yeah.
That one will trip you up a lot, So just be careful. Careful what you do. Careful what you say. Just be careful. All right. So now we jump all the way down to Deuteronomy 17, verse 17.
He must not take many wives, or his heart will be led astray. He must not accumulate large amounts of silver and gold.
There we go. Now he's starting, we kept talking about, oh, God has not said anything about this, that, and the other, all the wives, all the concubines, all the. Now, if you look at, remember, if you remember last episode, we told you that the Bible kind of gives you, depending on the version you read, it gives you a little idea of what you're going to be reading. According to what this is about the king. Okay. They don't want the king to do a lot of this stuff. Oh, thank you. That being said, I take it that it's a good thing for kind of everybody. In fact, when you look at it, Jesus later, I know we're jumping ahead, but Jesus tells us marriage is between one man and one woman. So I think this is like the setup for the newness of what Jesus brings to us.
Starting to prepare them.
Yep. So yeah, you don't get many wives. Done.
But how many is a many?
I don't know. I guess how you don't read why it says that, because your heart will be led astray, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. Anyway, now we're going to jump to Deuteronomy 21. This one's kind of a long one. Do you want me to read this one or you got it?
10 through 17.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Okay. So this one, it talks about marrying a captive woman and the right of the firstborn. So
I'm the firstborn.
you are the firstborn.
I should have many rights.
You should.
I should.
And you do.
But I'm not a male.
Just
so.
remember, rights and responsibilities kind of come together.
True.
So, all right. So we're going to start with marrying a captive woman.
When you go to war against your enemies, and the Lord your God delivers them into your hands, and you take captives, if you notice among the captives a beautiful woman and are attracted to her, you may take her as your wife. Bring her into your home and have her shave her head, trim her nails, and put aside the clothes she was wearing when captured. After she has lived in your house and mourned her father and mother for a full month, then you may go to her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. If you are not pleased with her, let her go wherever she wishes. You must not sell her or treat her as a slave, since you have dishonored her.
Yeah.
So this is after they've had sex.
Once you take her as your wife.
Okay. I'm not
'Cause-
done yet.
Well, I know, but that's kind of important to me because if you pay attention to that, if you're not pleased with her and let her go, that's
Yeah.
dishonoring her.
Yeah.
Not him being dishonored. That is him dishonoring her,
Right.
because it's not her fault.
No, because now she's going to be a
Yeah.
sullied woman.
Yep. And it was bad enough that she was kind of a slave in a foreign land, or not a slave, but a captured,
Yeah.
So God is trying to tell men, you need to do right by the women too,
About time.
I'm just saying it's there, Don't feel like women are
Less than.
less than, because in God's eyes, they're not, So anyway, it continues.
If a man has two wives and she. Nope. If a man has two wives and he loves one but not the other, and both bear him sons, but the firstborn is the son of the wife he does not love, when he wills his property to his sons, he must not give the rights of the firstborn to the son of the wife he loves in preference to his actual firstborn, the son of the wife he does not love. He must acknowledge the son of his unloved wife as the firstborn by giving him a double share of all he has. That son is in the first sign of his father's strength. The right of the firstborn belongs to him.
Mm. So you can't play favorites.
You shouldn't play favorites with your children anyway.
You shouldn't, but this has got less to do with the child than it does the women because he's going to punish the child. He's God is saying you can't punish a child because of your feelings towards the child's mother.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the child's fault that you don't love the wife anymore. You know,
Or never did.
yeah, that's on you. Man up. Don't
Yep.
be a little baby, and you know,
Yep. If you didn't love her, why did you marry her
and stick your pee pee in her,
and do nasty
and
stuff?
do the naughty no no with her, and get her
Yep.
pregnant, and well, and I think a lot of this also can be like if the guy, because let's be for real, when you first meet somebody, you put on your best
Yeah.
show and try to be the best person that you can be to kind of land that person, you know,
Yeah.
men and women, we all do it. And then once you get married or once you realize, hey, I've got them, you can let the real you kind of come out. And that can either be meanness or laziness, or even if it's not like the real you coming out, a lot of us tend to get complacent in our
That's
relationships
true.
and don't do the things we used to do.
To woo our other.
Correct. So the wooing goes away, and that if that wooing was part of what drew that person to the other person in the first place, you know.
Yeah. That's
So
true.
so there could be some of that too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
But
didn't say.
they didn't say, but it what I like is that they do God does set things straight that don't dishonor a woman.
Yeah.
You know, don't dishonor your firstborn child because of your feelings towards a woman. You know,
Right.
you need to be a respectable husband. That's just
Period.
period. Exactly. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, so I think we got time to do maybe one more. You think?
Probably. I don't know.
So let's go to Deuteronomy 22, and we're going to jump to verse 5.
A woman must not wear men's clothing, nor a man wear women's clothing, for the Lord your God detests anyone who does this.
Wow. There you go.
Okay, that's a little sketch.
Okay. Why is that?
Because depending on the times, what was once considered man's clothing, for example, pants, women didn't wear pants. Now women wear pants. Pants are, back in the day, were considered men's clothes.
I agree. I agree 100%. And I think that I would hope, anyway, that as a society and as a culture, we have enough sense about us to know what are women's pants and what are men's pants.
Maybe.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I almost dropped my phone.
That's why I said, do you want me to put it over here?
All right, I'm going to sit this right out here, just like that. You know, I'm not sure why this is in there, quite honestly. I'm not sure the whole point of the clothes being an issue,
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me.
you know.
Because times change.
Well, times change, but God tells us all the time, I am the same yesterday, today, and forever.
So basically, we're all sinning because we wear pants.
That'd be like saying we're all sinning because we're wearing shirts.
Yeah.
You're missing the point. There's a difference between men's pants and women's pants. They're
True.
cut to fit our bodies differently.
True.
My gut feeling for this, and this is just my gut feeling, it's less about the actual clothes you wear and more about you trying to be, you know, other than what you are.
what you were created
And
to
I
be.
and I think this is more of a statement towards that, you know, because when you go back and read the verses before and then after, it's talking about things that can lead you astray, you know. So I think it's more along the lines of don't, if you're a woman, don't try to be a man. If you're a man, don't try to be a woman. You know, don't wear women's clothes, don't wear men's clothes. I don't think it has anything to do with pants because nobody wore pants back then. Nobody.
It was just an example.
Right. Well, but you use that as an example, but there are, you know, they wore robes, and there
Right.
were robes for men and robes for women. Same as now, there are pants for men and pants for women. So it's not a matter of the times changing and things being accepted and not accepted as much as it is don't try to present yourself as what you're not.
What you're not.
You know, it leads to sin.
Okay.
Does that make sense? That's what I take it as. You know, let God speak to you on it. Pray if this, you know, means something different to you and you want to share, you can hit us up at Kinky Christian Podcast at Gmail. You can leave comments if you're watching us on YouTube. We do have a Facebook page, the Kinky Christian Podcast. We do check that. We don't post a lot. We're not active a lot, but we do check it. So if you comment on it, we will see it and respond to it. But yeah, I think we'll call it there.
Sounds good to me.
Sound good? And until next time, then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and God bless.